Welcome to Supreme Science Grenade Launcher, where today we are going to have another DBZ theory. And this theory is on one plot hole that I have always thought about every time I watch Dragon Ball Z. And that is, how did the original Future Trunks get killed by Imperfect Cell? And the second question that comes from that question always is, how did he defeat the androids in the first place? Because hear me out. Our Trunks went back in time, did all the things, and only got the shutdown and did all the things and went back and killed his androids and Cell. Some people do say that the original Trunks went back with a shutdown device, but I have something to ask you. How did you know that shutdown device exists? Because our Trunks never found out there was a shutdown device until after they met Cell. Thus, he couldn't use a shutdown device because they wouldn't have already met Cell. Thus, it's not a shutdown device that he used. It must either be raw power or nothing else. It's either raw power. So how, if he was strong enough to beat the androids 17 and 18, wasn't he strong enough to beat Cell? Because think about this. Piccolo, who was able to defeat Imperfect Cell, ended up being almost strong enough, was able strong enough to beat Android 17, but not beat, but be equal to Android 17. And that Android 17 was stronger than the Android 17 from the future. And our Trunks, who also most likely was the same strength as the other Trunks, was as strong as Piccolo at the time. Thus, if that Trunks did go back to the past in any form of way, he should have been able to defeat Imperfect Cell. There is no way that Imperfect Cell should have been able to defeat him if he used raw power. I'm sure some will comment, what if he got the shutdown device in a different way? Because then I'll have to ask you a very important question. If he did get it in a different way, why didn't our Trunks have some of those things occur to him? You're telling me no one ever thought to train him? And if he did use a shutdown device, how was he weak? Because he was able to match Piccolo at the strength he was when he fought Imperfect Cell right before going to the lab to find the shutdown device. So that Trunks should have been strong enough to be able to kill Imperfect Cell. Thus, I have two theories on why Trunks didn't kill Imperfect Cell. Two whole theories on why. One is that because he never knew about Cell in the first place, he never extra trained, thus he lost some of his strength, but that makes no sense. A more possible outcome is that Trunks is just a slacker, because how could he have lost all his strength if he hadn't trained? Thus, I can't believe Trunks would stop training thinking there is no future threat. And my last theory is very out of pocket, but hear me out. What if that Trunks isn't dead? Because think about it. How could it logically end up that he would be weaker than Imperfect Cell to an extent where Imperfect Cell would kill him if he already defeated Android 17 and 18? Thus, I believe that version of Trunks was just knocked out, woke up, built a time machine and went back to age 768 or any other time post fighting the androids in age 767. Thus, he went and he realized that Dr. Jerome must have had some other creature, but because it hadn't come to fight the Z Fighters of the unseen timeline, he had an adventure with them where he was able to destroy present Cell before it would come and knock him out, because he didn't know the one that knocked him out, thinking that thought he killed him was in another timeline. He thought he solved all of it, and because his cell was gone, and he continued training like usual, and maybe said a little bit for a BoJack movie. You know? A BoJack movie. But the BoJack movie can't work there, but maybe not. Thus, that Trunks is still alive. Because there's one thing I have to keep on saying. There is no way that Imperfect Cell could kill future Trunks. That could only occur if that future Trunks was weaker than our future Trunks. Not at the same time, but at our time. And that makes no sense. Tell me Trunks was weaker than Trunks, who could defeat Imperfect Cell, who that Imperfect Cell was stronger than the Imperfect Cell that supposedly killed Trunks. That sentence makes absolutely no sense. Thus, I believe Trunks was not killed, but knocked out. And once he got up, he must have built another time machine because of the higher resources and gone back to the date. But you're asking, but Cell said he didn't change any of the date and that he just pressed the button. What if he just remembered wrong? You know, we all remember things wrongly, or he's just lying, straight up lying. Because he did also say that Trunks killed Frieza in his timeline. Thus, I can't believe he wouldn't be a liar, because that's, of course, lies. So now, that is my theory on how Trunks shouldn't have been killed by Imperfect Cell, and my theory why he is still alive. And the bright thing about my theory is that that means there is a future Trunks out there who still has his timeline and no Goku Black in it to destroy his timeline. So I want to finish this video with a timeline of all the events that I think occurred. Okay, let's start. Original future Trunks goes to the unseen timeline, and in the unseen timeline, he fights Android 17 and 18. And here is where I make a change for the unseen timeline, so as Goku in the unseen timeline actually got the heart virus 2.5 years. Thus, he wasn't sick during the fight with Android 17 and 18 in West City instead of 19 and 20. Thus, if he would be there, he would see how strong 18 and 17 were. Thus, he would say they go into the hyperbolic time chamber earlier, as in this timeline, we know they won't be the cell that appears. Thus, because of that change, Trunks and Vegeta went in the hyperbolic time chamber and were able to train for 1 year, getting Trunks up to the strength of at least the strength of him after the first time out of the time chamber, but without grade 3 and 2, just in normal Super Saiyan, but not grade 4. Thus, how strong he was able to go and beat the androids, and the other androids also beat the androids, and went back to his future where he beat the androids with pure strength. Not knowing about Cell arriving, he was about to go back and tell his friends that he had won, and then Cell came behind him and knocked him out. And after knocking him out, he was able to regain consciousness a whole maybe let's say an hour later, these are all assumptions from here, where he was able to build another time machine, go warn his friends about Cell, thus in the unseen timeline they destroyed their Cell, and original Future Trunks' Cell is already gone, because that Cell went to become our Cell. Thus, without Zamasu, he just beat Babidi and Dabura. And then for the unseen timeline that doesn't have a Cell, because they heard that that things can just appear without needing Goku to exist or without foreshadowing themselves, they continue training until they reach their Buu Saga strength, where the Buu Saga occurs. I believe during the Universe 6 tournament, Zamasu didn't care about the mortals because he just thought they were God of Distractions in training in the unseen timeline. And that's how I believe the events occurred in that timeline of the unseen timeline. And that's what I think happened to the original Future Trunks. Don't forget to like and subscribe and come again to watch another video of Supreme Saiyan's Grenade Launcher. And I'm very excited to be able to make this video now that the exams are done. So now, may you please subscribe and maybe share this with a few other people so that they may be able to see this video. It might really help a lot for me to be able to maybe become a good part of the Dragon Ball Z community. And if you feel that I should change the name to any other name but Supreme Saiyan's Grenade Launcher, comment down any other possible names which you would like this channel to be named as, and no vulgar comments, please. And I'll choose the most liked one of them all. Goodbye, and come again to watch another video from me, and share this video with your friends. And that's my theory on why Imperfect Cell was wrong and Trunks survived. Okay, maybe just the original Future Trunks survived. I don't know about the other Future Trunks' timeline. That one's just screwed. Bye. See you. Come again to watch another video from Supreme Saiyan's Grenade Launcher.